Forging cyber security experts. Secure Ninja.
Hey everyone, I'm Alicia Webb with SecureNinjaTV, and I'm here at Blackhat 2014 in Las Vegas at Mandalay Bay. I'm speaking with Barry Shteiman. He is the Director of Security Strategy with Imperva. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. It's been a great show so far, and we're excited to talk to you and learn about Imperva and also what the Director of Security Strategy does for Imperva.
Cool. What Imperva does is data center security, protecting data wherever it is. If it's in the cloud, if it's on premise, and in different ways, and on the application side as well, so protecting applications that customers may have. What I do in the company is I'm the face of the research side of the company. So every time that we want to look into analytics, look into breach data, have some advancement in the way that the market is looking at new stuff, that will somehow get to me.
Awesome. So you're on top of all the new topics in cybersecurity. What are some of the topics that you kind of specialize in?
Well, lately I've been working on a few things. There was the World Cup thing that we covered, which was excellent. I mean, people like that one. But in terms of research, I guess I'm focused a lot on big data right now and on third-party software components and all of the risk around that side.
What are some of those risks?
So what organizations are facing right now with third-party software is the problem of having something that you can't control. When a company owns or builds its own software, they use the best practices and the best teams in order to do something in a very secure way, and there have been a lot of advancement in the way that developers build their code. However, in order to make life cycles very short, a lot of the times development professionals are using third-party software, like in OpenSSL case, they use the OpenSSL stack, or they will use a development framework of some sort in order to build the application on, but those might have inherited vulnerabilities in them, and therefore the application might break. So, and that's a very interesting space. We're doing a lot of innovation in that in order to protect customers against that specific risk.
Yeah. Now you mentioned the World Cup, and for those at home who haven't been following how the World Cup relates to hacking, tell us exactly some of the stuff that went on.
Cool. So I'm not a soccer fan. I'm sorry. Don't beat me up. But I am a data fan. So I'm a data geek. And what we did is we took all of the data that we had from our intelligence systems during the games of the World Cup finals, and we started looking into how those games pertain into statistics. So during a finals game, is there any attack trend? During a semifinals, is there any attack trend? And we find a few cool things. So during the games in general, there was a very significant increase, almost three times the amount of attacks on the web than in normal time during those same hours, which was half surprising, but it was fun because I remember thinking there's a good chance that hackers are using that window where people in SOC centers, instead of looking at security monitor, are looking into the TV or changing channels. So that was interesting. However, in the final game, it dropped to almost 3%. So, I have no real reasoning behind this other than hackers probably really like soccer and they wanted to see the finals. So that was around that, and this was fun. This was just applying real-time data and real security data of attacks into something that makes sense to people, so they can relate to. So soccer matches in this case.
That's interesting. The finals, they didn't have time to hack during the finals.
Yeah.
Who exactly was getting attacked? These attacks that you mentioned. I know the World Cup website itself was getting attacked, but were there any other parties involved?
Well, I looked at it in the most agnostic way possible. I tried to remove verticals and geos. I just looked at all of the feed that we have, all of the tens of thousands attacks an hour that happen, and looking at the velocity. So not digging into is retail getting more hacked than finance. I just want to look at volumes, and so that's basically the depth of it.
Right. Yeah. Now I understand you have a blog that covers a lot of cybersecurity stuff. Tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, I run the Imperva blog on security. It's a cybersecurity dedicated blog where we use that stage mostly for releasing new research material and giving our opinion, not from the product side, because that's not my world, but from the hardcore researcher lab, what they bring in, what I bring in, what the CTO has to say. We do have a lot of business opinions on there, so the CMO is also writing on that blog, giving his opinions on where the market is going. When we buy a company, like we bought Skyfence and Encapsula earlier this year, so he had a lot to say about why we did that, what's the trend that led us to it, what's the strategy. That's what the blog is for. We have a lot of readers, and we're very thankful for having all of those readers, because they're the reasons we're doing it.
Yeah. Now, a minute ago, you mentioned big data. What are some of the issues surrounding big data?
So, big data is newish, and a lot of companies are working around that space. In security, there are two things that people are looking at right now. Either using big data for security, for analytics, or securing big data. And what we do is we deal with the second part. So that's where the research that we do focuses on. Some of the things that I'm looking at right now are, first of all, the business incentives, the business trends. There seems to be a problem with the way that corporates are trying to build up big data security. And I believe that one of the major pieces here is the fact that if you own an Oracle database server or a Microsoft database server, all of those great databases, you have experts that are 20-year-old, not 20-year-old, but 20 years in the business, know exactly how to do things. There are best practices to follow. In big data, you can't find someone that is a 10-year expert on it. Everything is new. There's no trend that has been proven yet to say this is the way. So what companies need to do is to apply the current practices into big data. That's not easy. So auditing big data is not an easy task. We do it, but it's not an easy task if you're not from that space. And another thing, the way that big data is built, people believe that, well, there's no SQL in it because it's a NoSQL database, so all of the SQL injection stuff is gone. Where in fact, the application security side of it is quite a big problem. Not many people have heard of things like MongoDB JavaScript injection yet. It is as big as SQL injection, which is a very big problem. But it's not common yet, so people don't understand the fact that you can just inject code and get data from a NoSQL database. The fact that there is not a lot of knowledge or not a lot of community either understanding or experience with this just means that it's going to have the same problems like application security used to have, where people just didn't get the problem for many years. So those are the two things that I'm looking at right now, and we're crunching numbers now to see what the effect is. But the majority is that I believe that because you can't have your own 10-year experience, companies will have to rely on people like us to bring that experience to them, and to build that experience and to build the technologies in order to secure them. And that goes both on the application security side, which is, even though it's a bit more mature, people don't necessarily know that it applies to big data just yet. So those are the two things on that.
If there was one thing you could recommend a company does to secure their big data or to move in that direction, what would it be?
Give us a call.
Nice.
Honestly, I mean, so companies already are doing a great job on implementing security on applications. There's a big trend. Gartner just had a great Magic Quadrant. We were the winners, yay, this year on the WAF side, so the application security side. And on the database side, I know that a lot of our customers have already grown into a very good stage of auditing and securing the SQL databases. They now have to implement the same mindset and controls over no SQL. So big data with whatever type it will be. And that's the next phase for enterprise. So they have to plan this into their strategy and their budgets going forward.
All right, well, good to know. Thank you so much for talking with us, Barry. Definitely. And speaking of winning, I might try to go over here and win your remote control helicopter. What? We could just pretend I won. All right, you're the best. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, so you don't miss any of the interviews that we're shooting out here at Blackhat USA. And also, we will be covering DEF CON next, so make sure you don't miss any of those videos. And most importantly, check out our Black Hat Tour video. It's going to be a good one. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Alicia Webb.
SecureNinjaTV is brought to you by SecureNinja.com, a world leader in cybersecurity training and certification. Our master instructors will help build you into a highly skilled and marketable security professional. Secure Ninja, forging cybersecurity experts.